G'day YouTube, Ed here with a love story, a love letter to my favorite people on earth when it comes to this kind of work, gay men and queer people. Why is this a love story? Well, you know what? So often the things that we talk about and discuss and explore are steeped in shame and stigma and problems, and it's all very dark and heavy and negative. However, I'm going to cover the same damn content, and if you haven't seen it before, welcome. First time for everybody, that's fine. But I'm going to do it in a much more uplifting way, and I think you'll find it to be quite authentic and real. And in doing so, I think you will discover why I care so much about coaching, what it can do, and the opportunity it represents for the men that I work with. And even if you don't work with me, your opportunity to become the gay man or queer person that you are more completely is a joyous, joyous thing. So here we go with the bad news. If you're a gay queer person anywhere in the world, you were touched from an early age with the shame and stigma that is and has been attached to rainbow people for hundreds of years. Now, let's just stick with modern society. But this shame is unavoidable. It comes from all sorts of places, all kinds of cultures, all kinds of religions. It's more over here, it's less over there. But to be fair, in our very modern global world, I think you might agree with me, it's completely unavoidable. Stigma and ridicule, even abuse and violence, compounds the problem for us. If this didn't happen to you personally, it did happen to the people around you. And the HIV/AIDS epidemic is not that far behind us. And the legacy of that and the global implications of all of that and where it even leaves us today in terms of shame and stigma and how we feel about ourselves and our story is still happening today. It's getting better, yeah, sure, in many ways, but just a little bit doom and gloom, it's not that much better. It's still really freaking tough. And that's why I care about this story, and I think spreading and sharing, I said it again, shedding from that other video, shedding this story amongst all of you and whoever is watching is the way in which we can make massive and meaningful progress along our path to making positive change in this area. And I hope it is a lesson we never forget. I hope it is a lesson that we can share and lovingly share, spread, shed with everybody else for any point of difference, for anything that is human and therefore normal and natural, that helps people to accept them whole selves, connect to their whole selves, and embrace their entire life and move forward without the debilitating or, negative impacts of shame and stigma, then so be it. That is what I want, and I hope that this changes the world. Just me changing the world with you this little bit. So the bad news is that this leads us to inauthenticity. How? Because when you realize through the subtle acts in thousands of ways that are unavoidable and very much perceptible to children, that who gay and queer people are is wrong, means that you realize I am wrong. And there are wrong ways to be. And I must be careful, because if I show that wrongness or expose myself, or I have the wrong mannerisms, or I'm the wrong kind of boy, or I'm the wrong kind of person, people will perceive me that way and bad things will happen. Makes you scared. I mean, these things are pretty clear, yeah? But the inauthenticity factor comes about because we go, okay, I see this situation. I'm a smart person. Here's my plan. I won't be that. I won't do that. And therefore bad things won't happen to me. And this is almost everybody's knee-jerk reaction to the unavoidable shame that we've all experienced at a time in life where we do not have the skills, resources, or support in 99.9% of all cases to manage this differently. And so we learn to feel and be alarmed about and very wary of our true self. And it stays here. And we erect a wall because it's very dangerous. We don't connect easily with the outside world or ourselves or each other because we build a wall and we hold it there to keep ourselves safe. Then what happens is that we go, okay, the right kind of person looks like this, and we build that identity and we hold it in front of the wall People are allowed to come and interact with this version of us. It is not our true self. And, that has a couple of implications as well. If you achieve things in life, or you receive praise, or someone says, I love you, to this guy, you don't get it. It doesn't happen for you, and you become a more deprived, more of a husk of a person behind your steely wall that was put there with good intentions as part of a strategy to help and protect yourself. It just has a really bad outcome, and that's really sad. But that's not the end of the story. But we do have to go through a bit more darkness to get to the light in just a second. Low self-esteem. When you treat yourself this way, you are watching somebody, because we are the watchers of ourselves, right? We're not out of control robots just doing. We're able to watch ourselves doing what we're doing. And sometimes we like what we do, and sometimes we don't like what we do. And when we reflect badly on ourselves, such as condemning and judging ourselves because we were taught to, that we are wrong, we are watching somebody, us, condemn somebody, also us, for being wrong. We become judgmental, controlling. We kind of enslave ourselves or entrap ourselves behind this wall, and we watch ourselves doing that. And when you watch somebody do that, you wouldn't like them. People don't like enslaving other people. And that's kind of what you're doing to yourself. You're trapping yourself behind a wall. You're not allowing yourself. You're not loving, supporting, and caring for yourself. And that contributes to poor self-esteem. And then because we get unhappy, it's very easy to pick up more forms of poor self-esteem. There may be many different ways and insecurities which manifest in your life because of the extended effect of the insecurity, inauthenticity, and low self-esteem that are the hallmarks of the shame that we have been dunked in from a very early age. This leads us to a lack of purpose and direction. Why? Because only your true self knows what really matters to you and you really care about in life. Your mind might pick up on the ideas from an outside world about what is good, what is virtuous, what is right, what is better. But even if they're positive, they are still judgments, and they're still ideas, and they're only real and true for you if you choose to believe in them. But there's a whole nother world going on that is beyond beliefs. It is the place where your sexuality lies. It's why it's not a choice. Beliefs can change. Your truth cannot change. So in that world, you have your preferences, your desires, what matters to you, what fills you with awe or inspiration or passion or love. And these things are very vulnerable, sensitive, connective things that show you the life and the lifestyle and the things that might fill you with satisfaction and joy and contentment and purpose and meaning, where ideas is like throwing darts at a dartboard, hoping that something sticks. You have a golden compass, but there's a wall between you and your true self, so you cannot find your purpose and direction easily because you're so disconnected from your truth. Or your truth is not allowed in a world that is judgmental and stigmatizing and poses threats to you. Quite dark, but we're nearly there. Last one, poor ability to form relationships. It impacts our ability to form relationships, because if you've listened to anything about Brene Brown or anything about vulnerability or authenticity, which again, if this is your first time, not a problem, but she's out there. She's just the current leading voice on this kind of thing. If you're not able to open yourself and show yourself when appropriate, at appropriate times with appropriate people, you cannot form a true connection, a deep connection, an authentic connection with people. And people will always come away thinking, yeah, that guy was really pleasant or nice, or it's like he did all the right things, but I don't know who he is. I just don't really feel a connection to this person. If you're going on dates and that's the result you're getting, or you're looking for friends and that's the result you're getting, you are not wrong. You are not bad. You're not to blame for this. But if you have now become aware that, oh shit, that's happening for me, then it probably matters to you. And there is a different way of running your life so that you can get a different result. And that is the good news. And sorry for the parallels to like the good news, capital G, for God and Christians. I'm going to leave that all over there. I'm going to tell you about the good news of our unavoidable challenge. The good news of our unavoidable challenge is that it presents us the opportunity to grow from this adversity, and that can give us a many great superpower. Our ability to reconnect with ourselves shows us the profound intensity and great power in doing such a thing. Straight people, or, just to generalize for a second, more specifically, cisgendered, white, straight men who aren't particularly interesting or different in any particular way, they're not wrong, they're not bad. If that's their true self, I'm not judging them. What I'm saying is they don't get this challenge. No one comes along and gives them this challenge. Therefore, they don't get the opportunity to explore the nature of this interaction, the nature of their truly whole and complete selves. But I guarantee you, they are equally the victim of shame and stigma and rigid social controls that conform the ways in which they are permitted and allowed to express themselves and be themselves, and therefore build their lives and achieve their dreams in this world in the same way that we are. It's more visible and more obvious for us. And I'm actually happy, in a sense, that we get squeezed into this crucible of our great challenge, because sooner or later, and yes, sometimes it doesn't work out and people suffer so deeply that they take their own lives, and that is a great tragedy. But in all the other cases, people are able to grow from it and emerge potentially as quite a changed and much empowered person. The depth of acceptance, peace, love, connectiveness, and the power of vulnerability, and all of the things that provides in terms of human connection, self-expression, are all available to every single one of us, you that is listening at home, when we are able to do the work to find these walls and our resistance and our fears and our insecurities and accept them and say, yes, I have you. I am going through this. And to feel and explore for all of ourselves, our masculine parts, our feminine parts, the bits we like about ourselves, the bits we don't like about ourselves, anything and everything, and grab absolutely everything and have this realization. You are human. You are whole. If I have rejected me, regardless of why, but it's probably because we were taught how to, I'm sorry, me, for rejecting you. When I look into my soul and my whole human experience, I don't find someone who wants to hurt people. I find someone who wants to love people. I find someone who wants to love, play, sing, dance, share, explore, challenge, achieve, strive, do all these things that matter to me. I don't find evil inside anybody. I find bad behavior from people who are hurting, but underneath all of that, I find people who have lots of positive intentions with terrible strategies, such as self-denial, coming into the world doing nasty things. But I don't find evil in this world. I just find people. And so I challenge you to find evil or wrongness within yourself that isn't a belief that was taught to you. We don't judge cats or deer or turtles, but we judge ourselves because we were taught how to and shown how to, and we've done it for decades, and that has ramifications. However, it doesn't have to be that way forever, and this is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful opportunity for you to engage with all of this idea, all of this content, and go on your own personal journey to become a fully self-realized, self-accepting person that accepts their challenge that may never end, to be open, to express the loving, true self that lives within in exactly the way that you are, because it's not wrong, and there is no better, more authentic, more powerful, more enjoyable, satisfying way to live for anyone on this planet than to be who they were made to be by whoever. Could be capital G God, could be little g God, could be nature, whatever origin you subscribe to, or why any of this is happening at all. I don't mind what your origin story is or what you choose to believe, but I don't want anyone to be distorting their lives, minimizing themselves, making themselves small, or denying themselves for any belief. It just is backwards. It's just counterproductive. It is unloving. It is unkind. It is foolish. And it is a terrible strategy. The people that are doing that, they think they're doing good. The people who are trying to pray the gay away, I promise you, they think they're doing something good. But it is a god-awful strategy. And it should be outlawed, frankly. Because I think we're big enough and mature enough now, and we've had this conversation enough for people to realize, we're all only human. Perfectly imperfect. We all have stories. All of our past is going to inform and affect all of our present. But that doesn't mean that any one of us is actually hindered right now from more fair, reasonable, kind, loving self-acceptance and acceptance of others. And practicing this and going on this journey and doing your work will change the world for the better. And by better, I'm not necessarily introducing judgment. I'm just saying that's what I would prefer. I want to live in a world where people feel more comfortable to be exactly who they are, because I want to connect with them. I want to play with them. And if I don't know who they are, I can't really do that. So it benefits me. It benefits you. It would benefit everybody. These self-limiting, harmful beliefs are a mild form of insanity. And I'm just here to get us to challenge ourselves to explore this and say, can we become more sane? Can we become more loving? Will that make our experience of our limited human lives so much more enjoyable? Will it make you so much more powerful? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. If you consider one-to-one coaching with me, one way in which that could work for you, please visit brownbearcoaching.com. If you want to do something completely different, read books, make love to your partner, have more friends, love your dog, be yourself at work, challenge other people, but still take care of yourself, and challenge people to the extent that you are, fairly kindly, lovingly able to with the energy, time, and resources that you have, then go and do those things. But for anyone who wants to work with me, part of the reason I make these posts is to attract more business so that I can do more coaching to make faster, powerful, loving, life-changing coaching and change for people, hopefully, just like you. So if you're interested, brownbearcoaching.com, or if you know someone who might love this content, please share it with them and have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you for listening.